Hello from Corvallis, Oregon. I'm Professor Stephanie Jenkins, this week's guest taskmaster and judge. I'm excited to share and evaluate submissions for week 6 of the Fish.net Hometasking Challenge with you. But first, while I have your attention, I want to share with you some exciting news from the Mockingbird Foundation. Today, we have proudly launched our COVID-19 relief effort to support music education in response to challenges presented by the pandemic. We will utilize our emergency grant funding process to rapidly support music educators as they adapt their instructional methods during this time. We pledge to provide $25,000 in short-term emergency grants, and we are ready to provide additional emergency funding if warranted. In addition to the $25,000 short-term emergency grant pledge, between now and July 1st, the foundation will match the first $25,000 in donations made by our community. We invite you to join in this effort in a few different ways. 1, by making a donation at www.mbird.org/COVID relief. 2, by spreading the word on social media using the hashtag #ProtectMusicEd on any related posts. 3, by running your own fundraising event online to benefit this worthy cause. Thank you for your continued support in helping us to ensure that music education of tomorrow is as vibrant as ever. We're all in this together, and we love to make a difference. And now, back to the Hometasking Challenge. Lemuria assigned you to create a fish lot scene inside your house. Your submissions were evaluated according to the following grading criteria. Number 1, creates a lot scene, 0 to 5 points. Number 2, completed inside contestant's house, 0 to 5 points. Number 3, executed with an absurdist style, 0 to 5 points. We received 8 submissions this week. Let's take a look. Our first submission is from MIKH2WG. This entry was a beautiful tribute to our lot scene that made me miss hanging out with all of you. There were cozies and burritos and camping chairs, so I'm going to give this entry a 5 for the first criterion, but it's not outside and it's not absurdist. Let's see what the competition looks like.
People are surprising the things that they'll do. Think you got them figured out, let's show you what you do. First it may seem rational, but wait a month or two. Just no explaining the things people do.
Entry from Lizard with a Z is pretty great. In terms of the first criterion, creating a lot scene, there's drumming, there's some guitar, frisbee playing, but there's no food. So I'm only going to give 4 points. It's done inside, well done, 5 points. And I think it's a little bit more silly than absurdist, so I'm just going with 3 points in this category. Up next, we have 2 collaborative submissions from Johnny D and Wifey D. I don't know if we're allowing multiple submissions or group work, but I'll permit it.
Where is he? I don't know. He said he was bringing everything. He better get here. I didn't bring it.
But when the lights are turning round, the wheels are rolling on the ground. The day of run is someplace down when the circus comes to town. When the circus.
What I like about this entry is that it's creative And it adds a temporal element to defining our lot scene. We all have that friend who's always late and has something absolutely essential to your show experience, like your ticket to get in for the night. But there's no burritos or food, so I'm only going to be able to give you a 4 for what creates the lot scene criterion. As creative this submission is, y'all didn't follow the instructions, so unfortunately I have to give you a 0 because you did not complete it inside. However, you did successfully execute the absurdist style, and I'm giving you bonus points for the fluff head headlights and being safe by wearing masks and socially distancing, so you all get a 5 in that category. Congratulations. Up next, we have our second submission from Johnny D and Wifey D.
Yo, what's up, guys? Just cruise the whole lot.
Find any extras?
No.
Any toppers?
No.
Ice cold patties?
No.
Any crystals?
No.
Is there even a fish show tonight?
No.
When is the next fish show?
Maybe 2022?
Sweet.
Sweet.
I have to admit, I'm impressed by your longboard skills. The last time I rode a skateboard at a fish concert, I literally face planted into a rock. You've added an important element to the lot scene by having a crew while socially distancing. I'm going to give you a 4 in that category. But unfortunately, like the last submission, this was not filmed inside. I'm going to give you a 4 for the execution of the absurdist style on this one. Let's all pray to Iculus that the next fish show is long before 2022. Our next submission comes from the user Rebar.
The ultimate mashup. We're talking about ice cold balloon string cheese combo sandwich. You start by taking your balloon and just taking some strings of cheese and just popping them inside. And then you fill up.
Balloon string cheese sandwich. Did we just discover next week's dinner and a movie recipe? Only time will tell. Rebar has successfully demonstrated an example of food vending on the lot scene, but I'd like to see more elements represented as we've seen in some of the other submissions. So I'm only going to give you a 4 in this category. You definitely followed the instructions by completing your lot reconstruction inside, so you get a 5. And finally, for our third criterion, executes an absurdist style, you get a 5 and are setting the bar very high for our other contestants. Our next submission comes from Dale Cooper.
Can't fucking believe that they played Rhinoceros.
I've never seen a fire pit that fancy at a fish show. Maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong crowd, but I'm gonna give you a 5. But with the beer and an obscure fish reference to a song that they only played once with a show gap of 1,192 shows, I'm giving you 5 points in the creates lot scene category. However, you didn't follow the instructions. This wasn't completed inside, and so you get a 0 for our second evaluation criterion. I am giving you a 4 in the third executed with an absurdist style criterion. Our next submission comes from Van Hammersley. Let's take a look. pretty good job of representing our lot scene with the scenes from the crowd, vendors, and a young child who looks like they just broke loose from the storage box. I'm going to give you a 4 in the first category. However, once again, not inside. Was this executed with an absurdist style? I think used diaper oil takes the cake. I'm going to give you the full points in this category. Congratulations. This brings us to our final entry from M Show 96. Let's take a look.
Inside the house. Inside the house. Necessary. It's inside the house.
M Show 96's entry does a pretty good job depicting our scene with vendors, artwork, and donuts, but there's no food, so I'm only going to give you a 4 in the first category. Inside, well played, good job staying on task, 5 points. As for absurdism, I'm going to give you a 4 in this category. With a total of 14 points and the title of Most Absurd, Rebar is this week's Hometasking winner. Congratulations to Rebar, and thank you to everyone for your entries. Don't forget to complete your assignments for the upcoming Hometasking Challenge. Enjoy tonight's episode of Dinner and a Movie. It's one of my favorite 3.0 shows, and when Fish most definitely did not play Party Time. Stay home, stay safe, and as Ellis says, make good choices.